Today we're diving into a powerful story about family and betrayal. It's a story so important it was recorded forever in a divine text. It's all about a man who, instead of helping his own heroic nephew, became his #1 enemy. This is the story of Abu Lahab, and it's a huge lesson on just how destructive our words can be.
So let me ask you something. Imagine your uncle is a hero, a really good person that everyone respects. You'd be his biggest fan, right? Of course. Family helps each other out. But what if you did the exact opposite? What if you tried to stop him? This isn't just a random question. It's the real-life dilemma at the very heart of the story we're exploring today.
And that brings us to the main people in our story. On one side, we have the Prophet Muhammad, a man known for his honesty and kindness. And on the other side, his biggest bully, a man named Abu Lahab. But here's the twist. Abu Lahab was his uncle. So let's get into how this family relationship went so wrong.
Okay, our story really zooms in on one single event in Mecca. This was the moment, the flashpoint where everything changed. It all went down on a mountain.
So, picture this. The Prophet Muhammad climbs up Mount Safa, this well-known hill in Mecca. He calls out to everyone, and people start gathering around, curious about what's going on. You can just feel the anticipation in the air. They're all waiting to hear what he has to say. He starts off by reminding them of the trust they have in him. He asks, "If I told you an army was right behind this mountain, about to attack, would you believe me?" And the crowd, without hesitation, says, "Yes." I mean, they called him El Amin, the trustworthy one. This was a man who had never, ever told a lie. And that trust was the foundation for what he was about to say next.
So, with their trust confirmed, he delivered the message that would change the world. He said, "I am a messenger from Allah, warning you to worship only Him." This was it, his first public declaration to everyone.
And then, boom! In a totally shocking move, one voice cuts through the crowd. And it's not a stranger. It's his own uncle, Abu Lahab. He just loses it. He jumps up, starts shouting horrible insults, and even bends down to pick up stones to throw at his own nephew. This single act of public aggression is the moment everything pivots.
Now, an act like that, especially against a prophet, doesn't go unanswered. A divine revelation came down right after this event, a short chapter in the Quran called Surah Al-Masad, which basically foretold his complete and utter failure.
The very first verse is just, wow, it's so powerful. Perish the two hands of Abu Lahab, and perish he. The word perish here means to totally fail, to be ruined. It's a condemnation of the man, sure, but also specifically of the hands he used to pick up those stones. It's a prophecy that everything he tries to do to stop the message of truth will fall apart.
Now this next verse hits Abu Lahab where it hurts. See, he was a super wealthy and powerful guy, a leader in his tribe. He thought his money and status made him untouchable. But this divine message just shatters that idea. It basically says, all that money and power you're so proud of, it's not going to help you one bit. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. It shows the huge clash of values going on here. For Abu Lahab, life was all about stuff you can see and touch, money, power, status. But the divine message flips that completely. It says what really matters are things like kindness, faith, and your character. It's a powerful reminder that all the treasure in the world means nothing if your heart isn't right.
The prophecy then gives this really vivid image of his fate, a fire of blazing flame. But this isn't random. It's like a mirror of his own soul. He chose to live with a fire of anger and hate in his heart, so his end is to be consumed by that same fire.
And get this. Here is a fascinating little detail. His name, Abu Lahab, literally translates to father of flame. It was a nickname, some say because he had a reddish face, but it perfectly described his hot-headed, fiery temper. It's like his name was a little preview of his character and his destiny.
But Abu Lahab wasn't in this alone. His wife, Jamil, was right there with him, a total partner in his cruelty. She was just as involved in trying to hurt the prophet.
The fourth verse brings her into the picture with this really chilling description. And his wife as well, the carrier of firewood. Now, this isn't just a figure of speech. She was literally and figuratively fueling the fire of hatred against the prophet. So what did she actually do? Well, her cruelty was petty but really malicious. She would go out at night to find thorny branches and then scatter them on the path where she knew the prophet would walk.
Her goal was simple: to cause him physical pain, to injure his feet. This wasn't a one-time thing, it was a constant, nasty campaign of harassment.
And the final verse describes her fate, which is also incredibly symbolic. Around her neck is a rope of twisted palm fiber. Now, to really get the impact of this, you need to know what that rope is replacing.
See, in this life, Jamil was famous for wearing this gorgeous, expensive necklace. It was her symbol of pride, of her wealth and status. Well, in a perfect twist of cosmic justice, that very symbol of her worldly pride is turned into a rough, itchy rope of punishment in the hereafter. It becomes this constant, humiliating reminder of her own vanity and cruelty.
So what's the big lesson we're supposed to take from this ancient story? Well, it's a story that's still so relevant today. It's a powerful metaphor for how our choices, our words, and our actions all have consequences.
I love this analogy. Think about it. Our words are like seeds. Kind words are like planting flower seeds. They grow into something beautiful for us and for everyone around us. But mean words, cruel actions, those are like thorn seeds. Abu Lahab and his wife spent their lives planting a garden full of thorns, and in the end, that's the world they had to live in. So as we wrap this up, let's just really lock in the key lessons here. First, being rich or important means nothing if you're not kind. Second, using your power to hurt people will only lead to your own failure. Third, standing up for the truth is so important, even when it's really, really hard. And finally, choose your friends wisely. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and help you do good, not people who drag you down.
And that leaves us with a simple question, a question that we all have to answer for ourselves every single day. As you go about your life, think about the seeds you're planting with your own words and actions. Are you going to grow a beautiful garden, or are you going to grow a bunch of thorns? The choice really is all yours.